Welcome to our exploration of the dark world of cults. In the vast landscape of human behavior, few phenomena are as perplexing and disturbing as the rise and fall of these groups. Today, we delve into the shadowy corners of history to uncover 10 of the most dangerous cults ever known. These organizations, often cloaked in secrecy, exert an almost unimaginable hold over their members. Charismatic leaders, promising utopia or enlightenment, weave intricate webs of manipulation and control. Join me now as we journey into the hearts and minds of these groups, examining their rituals, their beliefs, and the devastating consequences of their actions. This is a story of human vulnerability, blind faith, and the enduring power of belief. In the 1970s, the charismatic Jim Jones led his followers, known as the People's Temple, to a remote settlement in Guyana called Jonestown. He preached a message of racial equality and social justice, attracting a diverse following disillusioned with the outside world.
Life in Jonestown was governed by increasingly erratic rules and demands. Absolute loyalty was enforced through public beatings and white nights, terrifying rehearsals for mass suicide.
On November 18, 1978, the unthinkable occurred. Over 900 people, including more than 300 children, died in a mass suicide murder orchestrated by Jones. The tragedy at Jonestown stands as a chilling reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the seductive allure of a charismatic leader. In the heart of Tokyo, a seemingly benign group called Aum Shinrikyo, led by Shoko Asahara, concealed a deadly secret. Asahara, a charismatic leader claiming to be a reincarnated deity, preached a strange mix of Buddhism and apocalyptic prophecies.
Behind closed doors, Aum's followers engaged in intense meditation, physical deprivation, and initiation rituals involving hallucinogenic substances. Their devotion to Asahara knew no bounds.
On March 20th, 1995, Aum Shinrikyo unleashed a horrifying attack on the Tokyo subway system. Members released deadly sarin gas, killing 13 people and injuring thousands more. The Tokyo subway attack sent shockwaves through Japan and the world, revealing the deadly potential of cults operating under the guise of religious freedom. In the digital age, cults found fertile ground online. Heaven's Gate, led by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles, used the internet to spread their bizarre gospel. They preached that Earth was about to be recycled and that the only way to survive was to leave their human bodies behind and ascend to an alien spacecraft.
Members lived a highly regimented life, renouncing all earthly possessions and severing ties with the outside world. They believed that the Hale-Bopp comet, visible in the night sky in 1997, signaled the arrival of their extraterrestrial salvation.
In March 1997, 39 members of Heaven's Gate, dressed in identical black uniforms and Nike sneakers, committed suicide in a luxurious mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California. They believed they were shedding their earthly vessels to join the spaceship trailing the comet. The Heaven's Gate tragedy highlighted the dangers of cult recruitment in the digital age, where isolation and anonymity can foster extreme beliefs. The Branch Davidians, a religious sect led by the charismatic but deeply controversial David Koresh, believed in a blend of Seventh-day Adventist teachings and Koresh's own apocalyptic prophecies.
Koresh claimed to be a prophet and established a heavily armed compound near Waco, Texas, where he enforced strict rules and took multiple wives, some as young as 12.
In 1993, a 51-day siege by federal agents, sparked by allegations of weapons violations and child abuse, culminated in a deadly fire that engulfed the compound. 76 Branch Davidians, including 25 children, perished in the inferno. The tragedy at Waco ignited fierce debates about religious freedom, government overreach, and the dangers of cult leaders who exploit their followers' faith. The Order of the Solar Temple, founded by Luc Jouret and Joseph DiMambro, combined New Age mysticism with apocalyptic visions. They foresaw the imminent arrival of a New Age heralded by a cataclysmic event. Jouret, a captivating speaker, drew followers from all walks of life, offering them spiritual enlightenment and a path to salvation. Yet beneath the spiritual facade lay a dark and sinister reality. The order was riddled with internal power struggles and paranoia, Jure and Di Mambro demanded strict obedience, instilling fear by claiming dire consequences for disobedience. Between 1994 and 1997, a series of mass suicides and murders shocked Switzerland and Canada. 74 members of the order, including children, were found dead in ritualistic settings, often arranged in the shape of a star. The horrific acts of the Order of the Solar Temple serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of apocalyptic beliefs and the seductive power of charismatic leaders who prey on people's fears and insecurities. The Children of God, later rebranded as the Family International, was established by David Berg in the late 1960s. Berg, who referred to himself as Moses David, propagated a twisted version of Christianity that focused on apocalyptic prophecies and sexual liberation. His teachings promoted a practice called flirty fishing, where female members use sex to attract new recruits. This practice, coupled with Berg's endorsements of sexual activity between adults and children, resulted in widespread allegations of child sexual abuse within the group. Despite numerous accusations and investigations, the Family International managed to evade justice for decades, relocating its operations globally and continuing to recruit new members. The legacy of the Children of God is a grim one, characterized by allegations of sexual abuse, exploitation, and the psychological manipulation of its members, many of whom were born into the group and knew no other life. Few names evoke as much horror and fascination as Charles Manson. Manson, a charismatic but disturbed individual, assembled a group known as the Family. He exerted a hypnotic hold over his young, impressionable followers. Manson preached a bizarre philosophy blending Christianity, the occult, and Beatles music. In 1969, Manson directed his followers to commit gruesome murders, including actress Sharon Tate. In the early 21st century, NXIVM, a self-proclaimed self-improvement organization, attracted a following that included wealthy socialites, Hollywood actresses, and even members of powerful political families. At the helm of NXIVM was Keith Raniere, a charismatic figure who went by the title Vanguard. Raniere's teachings, presented through expensive workshops and seminars, promised personal growth and empowerment. However, behind NXIVM's facade of self-improvement lay a sinister reality. Raniere operated a secret society within NXIVM known as DOS, which stood for Dominus Obsequious Sororium, Latin for master over the slave women. Women recruited into DOS were branded with Raniere's initials and forced into sexual slavery. In 2019, Raniere was convicted on charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and forced labor. The NXIVM case exposed the dangers of cults operating under the guise of self-improvement and the insidious ways in which charismatic leaders can manipulate and exploit their followers. Scientology, established by science fiction author L. Ron Hubbard in the 1950s, has been a focal point of controversy and debate for decades. Hubbard's doctrines, rooted in his book Dianetics: The Modern Science of Mental Health, purport to provide a route to spiritual enlightenment and liberation from psychological distress. Over the years, Scientology has drawn a varied following, including high-profile celebrities like Tom Cruise and John Travolta. Nonetheless, the organization has been accused of numerous abuses, fraud, and harassment of its critics and former members. Scientology's practices, such as auditing sessions involving the e-meter, a device that measures electrical changes in the skin, have been denounced as pseudoscientific and potentially harmful. The organization's hierarchical structure and focus on secrecy have also sparked concerns. While Scientology asserts that it is a legitimate religion, its contentious practices and history of alleged abuses continue to provoke debate and scrutiny.
In Kanungu, Uganda, the movement for the restoration of the Ten Commandments of God prepared for the end of the world. Led by Credonia Morinde and Joseph Kibwetere, the group predicted the apocalypse on December 31, 1999.
Followers sold their possessions and moved to the cult's compound. On March 17, 2000, a fire engulfed the movement's church, resulting in the tragic death of over 700 people. These cults, each with their own unique and disturbing stories, serve as stark reminders of the human capacity for both good and evil. They highlight the power of belief and the dangers of unchecked authority. These cults have left lasting and tragic impacts on their members and communities. The scars of manipulation, abuse, and violence run deep, a testament to the enduring power of these groups and the charismatic leaders who control them. Stay informed and stay safe. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content.